Welcome to the Nightly Rant. I'm Mike.
And I'm Torya.
This is the show where we talk about the awful things that have happened in our day, the awesome things that have happened in our day,
and all the things in between.
Thanks for listening, and we truly hope you enjoy. You know, I have been waiting since 2-ish o'clock for this moment right here to be able to say, wow, we solved a huge issue today.
What a day. What a day.
But teamwork, right? Like, we just solved the issue. Finally, like after what?
8 weeks.
Yeah, of struggling with that issue, and it's taken care of now.
It's very stress relieving.
Way to end the old year.
In your life, just solved in a matter of a few hours.
So, it was finally a good day, right? So that's something different, right?
Yeah.
You want to know what else is different?
What's different?
We have someone right here live with us tonight.
We do?
We do.
Really?
Don't you see her over there?
Maybe.
Who is that?
Hi, Tina.
It's
Hi,
Tina.
Guys. Woo! Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Cool.
There's a lot of T's in this podcast tonight. Tina and Torya.
And then you have to say podcast.
That's because the T's are awesome.
Podcast.
That'll be fun to edit.
Yep.
They call it a explosion. That's the official term. I was like, what the hell is a explosion? But whatever.
Well, enjoy my explosion.
Yogi's over here exploding. So Tina mentioned, she saw one of the podcasts up on the real Cypress community group, and she saw that there, and she commented that could she come on and rant about something. So what is it you wanted to rant about?
Okay, so I have issue today with lying people and aggressive dogs. So let me give you a backstory about what has happened to me. So, I was out walking my dog, Barkley.
Oh, Barkley.
Okay.
I know. He's so cute. Buddy. So, we're out by the street, and we have 3 buildings in my community, and I'm in the first building by the street, so I'm out there with him, letting him do his business, and then out of the 3rd building, this resident, who will remain nameless for this podcast, has a pit bull.
Resident.
I know, right?
If you need a name, make a name up. That's okay with me.
Well, I don't think you guys would appreciate the name I'd make up.
Hey, that's okay.
So, anyway, they have a pit bull.
Okay.
And he chooses to let his 10-year-old son walk it.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you see where I'm going with this.
Yes.
So it's back now, kind of in the back, doing its business. Well, we start walking back to our garage. The pit bull sees us, starts charging towards us.
Oh dear!
Oh my God!
Pulling the dog or the boy behind him. He's forced to be running because he cannot control the dog because he's 10. So I get Barkley in the house, and I am shaking at this point because the pit bull's charging at me.
Right, I could see where that would be scary.
Right? So I go back out, and I'm just at the edge of my garage, and I yell out, "This is why adults should be walking their dog!" And then I go back in.
That's the greatest.
So then I email our HOA lady, and I tell her what has happened so she can email the resident and say, hey, you need to control your dog and be with it. Well, he has now refused to sign the violation letter and says that he's being targeted by me and saying I'm discriminating against him. And the reason it happened is because I approached his son and his pit bull, and they were reacting. And so...
What?
Right? Like, I would approach a pit bull. So there's that.
And then, 10-year-old.
Yeah, and a 10-year-old, right?
Like, come on now.
So then in his letter, he continues to say how I target him. he goes into now what I am calling his lies.
Oh, jeez.
That every time I see him or his family, I give them dirty looks. And every time I pass their children, I say mean things to them. Because that's what I do.
You are the type to say mean
hold
things
on a second.
to children. Okay.
Hold on a second. We are talking about adults, right? Like, that is what we're talking about, right?
Well, he's supposed to be an adult. I call him gargantuan, but...
He's a gargantuan toddler? Question mark?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
yes,
like.
Yes.
Like, why are we worrying about, they give me dirty looks? I mean, even, let's just say,
right?
Let's go all the way to the extreme and say that you did.
True. Even though I never see them outside.
Like, who cares?
Right?
Move on. We got people in this building here who, like, they just, anytime they get in the elevator with us, they're like, they look around to see if the dog is there. And then if the dog is there, they jump out of the elevator because they're afraid of the dog. And they're not friendly after that at all.
Right?
So, you know what? Who cares? We're like, oh well, go on with life.
Enjoy the
yeah.
We're not out there.
They
We're not out there
go
writing
on with
letters
life.
to the manager,
right? And so, I don't know. So he continues to say, well, because I'm the president of the HOA over there, I am abusing my power.
Okie doke.
So by complaining about his dog, and I'm thinking, first off, what kind of powers do I have? Because I'd like to know. Right. If I have superpowers, I want to know because I want to start using them. And then second of all, how is it abusing anything, complaining about their dog? So
These aren't the same people you've had the issue with.
Okay,
before,
it is. It is. Oh. It's the same gargantuan guy that their little bully dog was off leash and did attack my dog, and then said that
same
people, and they said that because their dog attacked mine because my dog was raping their dog. However, mine was on leash being controlled, and theirs was completely off leash. Like attacking my dog.
Crazy.
You know, just before you go on, we used to have a neighbor right here to our right.
Max!
And they had this really, really cute dog named Max, okay?
He looked kind of like Barkley.
She was a nurse, and he was basically, in my opinion, a marijuana dealer. I really don't know.
He was a real deadbeat.
But he was never around. And then their kid was in daycare or with her mom or his mom or whoever mom. And so the dog would be left out on the patio. Now, it's a 3-story drop down, okay? So we come home one day, and I go, Alyssa comes in, she goes, Dad, there's a dog in our... And I'm like, I thought she meant there was a dog over there looking around the corner. No, she meant there was a dog in our patio. Their dog leapt from their side over into our side. So I leave a note on there. I knock on the door, they're not home. I leave a note. They come in, and instead of coming into the apartment... She goes, I'll be right back. And she goes around there, and she makes him jump back over.
Now it's 3 stories down onto a spiked fence.
So the next time...
What is wrong with people?
The next time that happened, before I told her, I brought him inside the apartment. And then when she started to go around, I said, oh, no, he's right here. Because I'm not going to allow that to happen again.
Right.
But there you go. Like, that neighbor... He actually apologized to me outside in the hallway once about his attitude, and I thought to myself, "Thanks for the apology, but if you think I really gave it, 2 thoughts,
right?
What do I care? I mean, you're just my neighbor."
Think about it again after the fact.
Yeah, if I like you, that's a different story. I don't give a damn what you were doing. So so it's the same. We've established that this person,
it's the same
this person is a consistent troublemaker.
Yes,
got it.
And
okay.
So shouldn't own dogs person.
Right. So the management company who handles our HOA, the lady then suggests to the resident, you might want to think about getting some insurance for your dog because, it's, one of those dogs that if something happens, they're prone to doing not good things. So, but she was very professional about it. And he then says that she's being discriminating against him by suggesting he get insurance, and how dare he's offended. And so now he's using the word discriminating very much. So I'm thinking he's just watching Trump too much.
Well, you know what my first thought was, though, when you told me about her asking for the insurance. I knew you were going to say that he claimed it's discriminatory. I knew that. That's obvious because he's that kind of person apparently. But my next inclination,
it was just a suggestion.
Yeah, well, exactly. My next inclination was, well, an HOA has every right to say, sorry, these breeds are excluded from being in our association. They cannot live in here.
Well,
and they have every right to do that.
Because it was never in our rules that we have breeds that we can't.
You wouldn't be able to
incorporate it.
Yes, but you wouldn't be able to get rid of people who are already there.
Right.
But anyone new, like if they moved out.
I plan on putting that.
Yeah, if they move out and someone new moves in, well, now you can be like, no pit bull.
Now I will. However, but we just can't. Now the rule is, for now, just it has to be with somebody who can control the dog. Which a 10-year-old boy cannot control a pit bull. I'm sorry. I don't even know that I can. I'm a grown person.
The rule in our building has always been that if the dog is over, 30 pounds, that the manager has to meet and approve of the dog.
So they'll allow big dogs. Like when we first moved here, his favorite buddy was a pit bull. Blue-colored sweat pit bull. But it loved him, he loved it, and it was a nice dog. But that's why it was allowed.
Yogi's really contributing tonight.
Yes, he's got a lot to say. Yeah, God.
Yogi's just not used to having guests.
So he now thinks that the lady who told him he might want to consider insurance, which was protecting him, not you.
Yes.
Is a discriminatory person.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So now he wants to have a hearing with the HOA board. And which is funny because it's me and my good friend next door who is the board. And so not real sure how that's going to go. It's like, what? Let me hear your complaint. Nope, you're wrong. Bye. I mean, how's that going to go? I don't even know.
Well, what he'll say is he'll make a big deal about how you have to recuse yourself, blah, 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 blah. And then it's going to come down to your friend's decision. I mean,
and she is terrified of that dog. She has made lifestyle
problem fixed.
Changes because of that dog. She will no longer go to the mailbox and check her mail. She makes her husband do it. She won't even go over there.
Yogi likes that we have a guest tonight. So he wants a hearing.
Yeah, so that's
now you have to respond. Now you have to. Oh, you've already said it. Okay.
The management lady has already.
You are most definitely going to have to come back after that's all.
We got to have an update after this is all over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe I'll stick my phone on record in the corner and just record it.
That would be great.
Well, it's that's funny because one of the episodes that we're going to do here pretty soon on peeling the orange is we're going to grab a controversial post from the Orange County Register and we're going to read people's stupid comments.
Awesome.
And then we're going to poke fun of the stupid comments.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
Him and Colin will have a great time with that.
I love making fun.
We might be able to create a series out of that. What do you think about it? Because sometimes that's honestly, I think that's where you and I got in trouble in the beginning.
Making fun of people?
We would sit here and I'd be like, honey, oh my God, did you see this post? And she's like, no. I go, here, let me show it to you. Look, here it is. Then I'll say, now let me read you some of these comments. And she'd be like, all right, whatever, okay. And then I'd read it to her. And then I'd read more to her. And I'd read more to her. And all of a sudden I'd say, she'd go, wait a minute, where is that? And then she would look up the post. And then she'd be saying to me, oh, no, did you see these comments? And we would go back and forth. And it took us a while.
Commenting on them.
Well, yeah, it took us a while. But then all of a sudden we got you know what? I can't take this anymore. I have to say something because this is stupid. And you say something and it's whack. No, you're not allowed to have an opinion.
So, on the topic of making fun of people, my neighbor, I told her I was coming to be a guest on your podcast and told her what I was going to talk about. She says, no, you need to talk about the dumb driver. So, I'll tell you real fast what happened.
Dumb driver? Okay.
Yeah, I know you guys already talked about this, but
that's okay.
So
we like it.
We are coming out of the Albertson parking lot over by Big Lots on Valley View.
Behind Farmer Boys.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
So, we're coming from a lane into the exit. and a lady was very far behind, and so my friend went ahead and went. I'm in the passenger side, and apparently she didn't like that we went in front, but she was not even close enough, and she started flipping us off, and she was so far back that the girl driving, she was so far back, she's like looking in her rearview mirror, and she's like, what is she doing? And as she got closer, she's like, oh wait, she's flipping me off. And it's like, and then she starts like waving in her like rearview mirror, like, if I offended you in any way, sorry, like wave, right? So we get out, and we're at now the turn light to make that U-turn on Lincoln and Valley View. And she like rushes by us in the next lane with her phone up, like as if she's videoing us. So I'm thinking, wow, Merry Christmas to you too.
What
like
kind of
nothing,
crazy do you
we're not
experience?
even doing anything, and she's like just being crazy. And it was just so funny, still flipping her off and filming it, and we were doing nothing, and
That's
it was
hilarious.
except for laughing and waving back.
Well, you know, it's funny what you reminded me of when you talked about what center that was. What center did she talk about? Come on, which one is it? What else is there? There's Big Lots.
Angry homeless woman.
There you go, the angry homeless woman.
Have
for
you
100
ever
points.
seen that woman? She
sits
sits on the
between
sidewalk by
Dollar
Big
Tree
Lots
and
Dollar
Sally's.
Tree.
Yes, I have seen her.
And if you don't acknowledge her or answer her,
she yells at you.
Yeah.
She starts, and I have no idea what she's saying because she's just talks crazy.
She said to me, do you have any change? And I looked at her and I said, no, I'm sorry, I do not. And I don't think she heard me. Because her next statement, as we kept walking, was, that's right, I don't exist.
I'm just a mirage.
I'm just a mirage.
She would have said, oh, wait, then I don't talk to mirages.
So
And then she yelled at us again
We just
another time,
ignored her.
too.
Yeah, and she yelled at us another time, too, recently.
Oh, I've seen her over by the Ross across the street.
Yeah, yeah.
I ignored her then. And because the friend I was with, again, my neighbor, she doesn't like it when I say things out loud because
That's fair.
she just doesn't. She's a nicer person that way and doesn't say things.
Non-confrontational
Like, you know,
is not
yeah,
nicer.
she's non-confrontational, whereas me, I'll be like, if it's like a normal, like, person, like, able-bodied, I'll be like, no, go get a job. Like, don't beg for my money. And she'd be like, just walk by and don't say anything. So that's when I saw the crazy lady, and I walked by her without saying anything, and she, like, had a lot to say.
She's so rude. I don't understand how she accomplishes her goal ever. Because she's just so rude to everyone.
She is.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think she heard me at all and just went off on me because, I mean, I definitely did say, no, I don't have any change.
Well, the second
and I go
time-
by my gut on those
Maybe
things.
she has bad hearing.
Maybe.
too.
The second time that we encountered her, we were going to Big Lots to buy our Christmas tree, and I saw her there, and we purposely walked in the parking lot to go past her instead of going to the sidewalk and then over.
You noticed that, huh?
Well, it was my suggestion.
Well, I didn't hear you. I just did it instinctively.
Screamed something at us about not existing. And I was
Yeah.
like, I just don't care. Just shut up, lady.
Yogi, my arm is hurting.
So
now,
this
thank
lady
you.
that was filming us, though, was so funny. She was...
Did she come back?
No, but she was so funny because as she was turning and like had her camera up like she was filming us, she almost hit another car because she was acting so crazy.
How funny that would have been.
And we're like, oh my god, we couldn't
Well, and
even
with the
believe
law,
what she was
with the law
doing.
that went into effect last year,
She shouldn't even
she
be holding
shouldn't
her
even
phone.
be touching her phone.
Well, exactly. The police would have come because she'd hit somebody else.
Right.
You guys would have stayed there
Yep.
and told the police she was videotaping us.
And we're
we were
not even
pulling
sure.
a
So I
U-turn.
ran, when I got home, I went on like the Cypress page and the Buena Park page. I wanted to see if she posted anything, and I didn't see anything.
Oh my gosh, that would have been funny.
Because I would have had a lot to say on that post if she did.
Yes, that would have been funny. That would have been real. Do you know how hilarious that would have been if she had actually posted like the video?
I would have.
Because then also
You guys
know,
would have
all
mostly
seen
seen
it.
me because I was in the passenger side, and that's what she was like filming. She would like, what is her goal
'cause, like,
here?
with our
I'm not quite sure.
Well, like with our new group, one of the things that I do kind of every so often, and I do it in a pattern, I will admit, but the pattern is not one you would figure out. Okay, but I check into people because of the whole Rosa Cruz situation.
What's
Yeah.
the Rosa Cruz
You
situation?
don't remember Rosa Cruz?
Maybe she didn't know about Rosa Cruz.
Maybe I don't.
So we were all members of the Cypress community group.
Right.
And then she did something that pissed off Colin, and it was about politics. And so he went and started the Cypress political group, and a bunch of us went over there with him because she basically said, "No talking about politics in my group." So everybody, moved over, and this woman joins the group. And right away is like, I don't understand you people, homosexuals belong in hell. They belong burning in hell. And, you guys are ridiculous and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it was like, whoa,
so why
okay.
Did she bring that up?
So, who knows?
She went from 0 to 100 real fast.
So we looked into her. And we checked out her profile picture and found out that her profile picture came from a stock photo service.
No.
So we called her out on it.
She doesn't. The name Rosa Cruz does not exist in this area
at all. And you would think,
shocking.
Which is weird considering the name sounds like it would be a very common Hispanic name, but I guess not.
And then she changed her name to Rosa Hernandez, which also does not exist.
And then
here.
she changed it to Claudette Hernandez.
Yep.
And what she doesn't know is we have a way, which I'm not going to reveal here, but other people will know. So I'm not trying to say, before you say it, yes, I'm going to make this a regular practice. Before you say it, I'm not saying I'm smarter than you. I'm saying I have a way that I will not reveal to know whether or not she has changed her name or if it's a different profile. That's all I'm going to say. So, that woman would get into arguments with everybody about things, and she would always take
literally
extreme,
everyone.
like the shooting in Las Vegas. She would probably have commented about how, well, it's too bad that the white people got shot, but man, it's a good thing that they got rid of some of those blacks and Mexicans. And she's got a Hispanic profile. And those are the kind of stuff that she would say. And then I started getting into it with her, but with like 2 or 3 word sentences, one at a time. And this other crazy person, who will go nameless for this podcast,
because they actually exist,
started defending her. And I was like, she's a troll. Do you know what a troll is? There's someone who creates a fake profile so that they can say whatever shit they want, and then you're defending her? Why are you defending her? So that turned into, later, supposedly I am abusive towards women because I told her that.
Think I somehow remember seeing that.
Yeah,
somebody said
some of it happened in the open forum.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the abusive to women comment.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
Because
this is how crap gets started.
So abused.
I know. Can you see all of my bruises?
I see them all.
I have a weird bump on my leg.
So
that's about it.
So something funny though is, so after I read my son the letter that the guy wrote about me and all the lies and everything. He laughed and said, "I know, Mom, what's wrong with you? But on the other hand, can I report him for being part of the KKK with his friends and calling me the N-word?" And I'm like, don't stoop to his lying level. I mean, he so wanted to do something back. It was funny, but no, I didn't let him act like a child, even though he is, because he's only 17. But
we were reading. I can't remember a lot about them, but remember yesterday when I was reading you those bad client stories?
Oh yeah.
So it was freelancers getting their bad client stories, and so the person says to him, well, thanks for those those final advertisement images. We really appreciate it, but we're not going to be paying you for them now. And he goes, what do you mean you're not going to be paying me for them? You had me do them. And they go, well, we're smarter than you. You better think about that next time. And then he goes, oh, so you're going to go ahead and use them? And the guy's like, yeah, we're going to use them. And then he goes, well, good luck with that word sample written across the front of it. And he goes, oh, you got me there. Well, then we're going to need you to send us the final copy.
Without payment.
And he goes, well, I will when you pay me. And the guy says, well, is that really going to be necessary?
What?
he found some great ones.
And then someone insisted the guy was working for free and said that
because we all want to do that.
Why are you trying to charge me? I mean, I bought you coffee every time we got together, and I even baked you a birthday cake. And he goes, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I don't charge you for my services. I mean, we agreed I could charge you for my services. And he goes, no, you're a freelancer, so that means you work for free. You're not a paid lancer.
No, he didn't.
You're not a paid lancer. You're a freelancer.
That is as good as back in the day when I worked at a computer company. And I worked with the hardware, and we would, test things to see if they were actually bad whenever they sent them to us. And people's complaints would be like, I can't find the any key. My big gulp holder is broken. I mean, just ridiculousness. You all know what the big gulp holder is, right?
I worked in a company once where the dude in IT, they never used the disk drives. He actually used it to hold his coffee.
Is that nuts?
Well, we had one, okay. We had one. We had one where the guy calls in and he goes, Yogi.
What's in it?
He goes, my monitor, it doesn't work. And then I said to him, can you make sure that the monitor is plugged into the computer? And he's like, what does it look like? I describe it to him, then he goes, okay, yeah, it's plugged into the computer. So I drive from Santa Monica to downtown Riverside, get under the desk, pull the computer forward, and immediately see that the monitor is not plugged into the computer.
Oh, no.
So that's how people are. Like,
people are idiots?
They don't know any better, and they just do stupid things like that.
I just realized something. Okay, 90% of our podcasts have been talking about events that have happened. Okay? And the end result of all of those discussions is people are idiots.
Seriously.
People are idiots. It is the underlying tone of this entire podcast. People are idiots.
Well, yes. Yeah, that's what it's turning into. That's for sure.
They really are. And I think we've all given some prime examples of that.
Right?
Well, and it's...
And it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
It's not.
Well, no, and what's interesting is how they spin the actual facts. Like,
sometimes there's not even facts.
Well, and that's the thing. It's mind-boggling because you're present for what happened, okay? And I've got to say, and I'll say this right now to everybody listening. I have not known you to be the kind of person who, I'm not going to say I 100% agree with anything anybody says, but I'm also going to say that I'm 100% certain that you're not the type of person that's going to make up the story to cause trouble, especially for the reasons that this person puts forward.
Well,
and that's the craziness about it is that you're not that type of person.
I don't care about them enough to do all this.
Bingo.
They're nothing in my life. I have no reason. It's just craziness. I just want him to control his dog while he's outside, while it's outside. Other than
look what it goes back to.
Care less.
But look what it goes back to, babe.
Inconsiderate.
What did we come down to with that? If you can do whatever you want when you're not affecting the rights of other people.
Right.
When you're out affecting the rights of other people, you have to take that middle road where, it's a compromise between both parties. And you have to do that. Because if you don't do that, now you're infringing upon my rights. You're not you pay for the place just like he did. Mm-hmm. It's yours. Yours is yours. His is his. You're entitled to use that common area.
Yes.
So if you want to walk your dog without having his dog attack you,
I should be able
you
to
should
do
be
that.
able to do that. And guess what? It's not an unreasonable request because it's not like you're walking through his yard.
Right.
That would be an unreasonable request. But he's out in public. So now, it's like I tell them about kids. I always used to say, I would rather kids misbehave at home with their mom and their dad than when they're out with my best friend or something.
Right.
I would rather they misbehave with me.
Well, sure.
And that's because
that means you taught them how to behave
exactly. And that's the important part because let them be what they want to be when they're inside the house.
Ultimately, what I've decided about this guy is he has a completely miserable life, and the old saying is misery loves company, and he wants me to be his company in misery, and I'm not going there.
Exactly.
Like, I don't have a miserable life, so I don't need to join in on the pity party, somebody's looking at me cross-eyed game, you know.
Well, and like here, we've just remained friendly with the manager, and genuinely so, not fake, you know. And what ends up happening is you get a little bit of, you hear things that they're thinking about doing, and then you get to go, well, wait a second, you know what would work better is you do what you're talking about, but add this twist to it. That's a great idea. And, you know, you've had a little bit of influence over what goes on in the building. But, I mean, in a way, that would be why, if I was in your position, why I would want to be on the HOA board. Yeah. Because I would want to have
a little bit of input.
A little tiny bit of input, you know. And
the only reason I wanted
power.
on it is so that I had that input on if my dues go up or not.
Oh, yeah, it's smart.
You know, that's the only reason. Other than that, I really don't have power. It's like, my whole job is to sign checks and to, you know, answer to the management lady, you know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that these days HOA stuff has become like a professional corporate entity, and they take over, you know, you're the figurehead, and they take over all the behind the scenes duties.
Right. And I'm really glad, because I don't have time, nor do I know how to do it, and I don't want to study the HOA laws. I don't have time. I actually have a full-time job, so, you know, I just don't have the time. So I'm really glad we have somebody, and to be that third party and to take on the issues from the people, you know. And unfortunately, all the residents, well, they used to think that if there was any complaint made to her, it was me making the complaint, because I'm the person, I don't know, because I'm the head of the HOA, and I had to email everyone about 6 months ago and tell them, if you have complaints, you individually need to email, you know, the HOA lady and tell them your complaints, because I'm not going to take your, you know, your complaint and take it to her. It's up to you guys.
Well, that's smart. Eliminate the middleman.
Right, but I'm not sure they understand that, and so they some of them kind of look at me like, oh, I can't believe you complained about that about me, and I tell them, hey, it wasn't me. You know, maybe you've pissed off other people. I don't know.
That's kind of funny.
So, I mean, pretty much I just mind my own business, you know, and I don't even go back in the common area anymore ever since those people got that pit bull, because I don't want to have confrontation with it.
Right, because you already know those people are idiots.
Right. And so it's so sad, though, that I can't go in a common area.
Right.
Even other neighbors that I used to talk to that face the common area, they've noticed, hey, you don't come back here anymore. And it's like, nope, not with that pit bull, I sure don't.
This is why people need to vote for me.
I mean, if you trusted the owners of the pit bull, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem for you, because well-trained pit bulls are a super sweet breed.
But you want to know something
funny?
Idiots own them. But he thinks, since I'm targeting him, I will say that if he continues with his childish behavior and I'm no longer on the HOA, I will make it my life's work to target him personally, and it will be quite amusing, and I'll come share that with you if it ever happens.
Well,
but I'll make sure I'm not on the HOA before I do that. Well, and you know, the thing is, though, is, hey, he's asking for it.
That's too funny. That's crazy.
Yeah, we talked about inconsiderate neighbors early on in the show, and I
think it was like episode 2 or something.
Yeah, but the one lady, like, she talked about somebody that we know personally, and made comments about that person that
awful comments.
Know, like, that. Come on now. I might have misjudged the person like that much, you know, like maybe a teeny tiny bit, but I would have had to like completely not know that person to have that be the truth. Well, and you sit there and listen to her.
Well, what is completely hilarious is when these people came and initially looked at the house, they were like so nice. They fooled me. I thought they were going to be like nice people, good neighbors.
They interview well.
And yeah, they like snuck right in there under my radar, And then after the last dog episode, I thought I worked it out with the wife because she seemed to have a little bit more, sense to her than the husband. And
Not so much.
So well, we continued after that too. We'll never be friends, but at least we became neighborly. Where if she drove by in her car and I was outside, she would wave, I will wave back, and that was the end of it. We go on with our lives.
Right.
We're just neighborly. But he can't do that. He's very unapproachable. So, I mean, I could go on and on about bad neighbors, but...
Well,
interesting. Everybody has some.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
So here's what I want to do. All right, we're gonna close this guy out, but I definitely want you to come back and continue this story because
After the hearing.
This is quite a saga, and I had no idea it was the same person that we had talked about once before. Like, that's craziness.
That's too funny. I had to ask because I remembered you having issues with the dog before, but didn't remember you saying it was a pit bull before. So I wasn't sure.
It was a small dog, but
Small
it's
dog
a
last
bully.
But seriously, if you have other things you want to rant about, you're welcome anytime.
Awesome.
We've enjoyed having you, right?
Yeah, it's been
All
good.
right.
It's nice for there to be not all of the questions aimed at me.
Yeah.
And it was fun getting it off my chest. I feel better.
Good. Well, that's what it's about.
And
So.
just to be clear, it's probably 2 more years since I'm not on the board. By then, he will be long forgotten about, and I'm not really going to turn on this guy. So I'm just venting. So just for anybody who might know me, I'm not really like that anymore.
Anymore.
That's
Well,
fun.
with that, let's get out of here.
All right, I guess.
Good night.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Hasta la bye-bye. Hey, this is Mike, and I just wanted to tell you that if you enjoyed the show, and I truly hope you did, you can subscribe on iTunes or Google Play and not miss a single episode. But if you happened to miss an episode and you didn't find it on Google Play or iTunes for some reason, you could go to our website, which is theNightlyRant.wordpress.com.